Hello and welcome to my business story podcast. I'm Johnny Perez, your host. Today, our guest is Jason Denison, owner of Denison Tree Removal. His experienced
Mhm.
team is dedicated to preserving the natural beauty of his customers' landscapes while ensuring safety and sustainability. With decades of experience, his company is committed to delivering personalized service and exceptional results. Jason and his team pride themselves on their thorough approach and ability to meet the unique needs of every property owner they service. Jason, thank you for joining me on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. I love your background. Love that tree. What kind of tree is that?
I believe it's a maple tree.
Yeah, on fire. Cool. For those that are watching, you'll be able to see that. But it's really cool. Love your logo. So yeah. Can you tell me how business is going these days? How things are moving and shaking? Is this your busy season right now?
Yes, this is our peak season right now. We're about in the middle, starting to get into summer now, so it's nice and busy.
Awesome. Cool. What kind of projects are you working on now?
Today we have the removal of 3 oaks right around a
Mm.
greenhouse, so it's a lot
Mm.
of complex rigging today.
Oof. Is that like a glass greenhouse or like plastic
Yeah, yep, glass.
with glass? Oh God. I, I would hate to be in your shoes, but you guys you know how to do your stuff, so it's all good. So let's jump right into it. Can you sort of take us back to the beginning of when you started your whole business? What were you doing before you started working on lawn care or cutting down trees?
Yeah, so before anything to do with lawn care and tree removal, I worked at McDonald's, Fuddruckers,
Mm.
bunch of fast food places. Um, I quit every single place because it just was not for me. I did not work
Yeah.
well in those situations.
Mhm.
But then after that, gave me a little bit of motivation to get into this sphere.
Awesome. And what was the spark or that moment that made you take the leap into coming out of McDonald's? And you said Fuddruckers, was it?
Yeah.
And then working on tree removal.
So I got a job opportunity after all the fast food places right out of high school to do door-to-door
Mhm.
sales, and I was selling solar door to door. So
Mm.
that kinda brought the business mindset into everything. So I learned how to sell doing that, but then it kinda went sideways in that industry. So I left that, and the next day, I ended up going to Tractor Supply, getting a credit card, throwing a trailer onto that credit card, borrowing my dad's SUV, and starting up the company just like that.
With any experience, have you cut trees before, like, for
Yeah.
other
Yep.
companies? Yeah.
So I did lawn care from the time I was 13 to about
Mm.
16, 17 years old with a brother of mine.
Mhm.
And that was just basic lawn care. We did a few trees here and there, but I was always just fascinated by trees.
Mm. Awesome. What's your favorite tree, to keep alive, and what's your favorite tree to cut down?
What was that again?
Oh, yeah, what's your favorite tree to look at, to admire and everything, and what's your favorite tree to cut down?
It sounds like you're underwater. I can't hear anything.
Uh, um, s Nothing on my end. Can you hear what I'm saying now? No?
Can't hear anything. I can hear you. It's really broken.
Okay. Um, I was just asking what's your favorite tree to take down?
Oh, my favorite tree to take down would be a live oak.
Yeah.
It's hemd is really nice. It's very simple to take down, but very entertaining at the same time. There's a lot of rigging involved. Um,
Mhm.
but it's very predictable.
Awesome. And then what's your favorite tree to admire that you would hate to cut down?
Japanese maples.
Ooh, yeah. That's the one with the red leaves,
Oh yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, those are beautiful. I've seen one, it was at least, I don't know, 30 or 40 feet. They had to cut it down because it was about to fall over on the house. That was a shame to see, but anyway. So did you have a clear plan, were you sort of figuring out as you went along?
So as far as a clear plan, absolutely not. Um, like I said, I literally I left that company, and I said, what can I do to make money in this instance? So I was like, all right, well, I know how to mow lawns and I know how to take down trees. So let's start there. I went to Tractor Supply, got a credit card, put the whole entire trailer on the credit card, got approved for just enough for that. Borrowed my dad's SUV. So I was towing a 10-foot trailer behind a Ford Escape with a couple push mowers to get started, and just messaged all of my friends trying to drum up any type of business I could. Started with lawns and then just slowly worked my way up as I went along.
Awesome. What were the biggest challenges that you faced early on?
Um, Probably credibility, because I was very young. I was 19 years old when I started up. Um, Understandably so, they look and see a young guy and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if this guy can actually take care of my property correctly." But then I came in and I showed them exactly what I could do, and that's why I was able to maintain a five-star reputation through in and throughout.
Awesome, awesome. What have been your, I guess, favorite jobs so far? Anything memorable from when you're starting till now?
It was actually recently we had it was 3 beech trees, and, they were in a basically triangle of power lines. They had a tension
Okay.
cable going through one side, and the cable wires and the hot wire going through another side, and it was, basically completely enclosed. We had to bring in the crane and lift
Mhm.
it up out of that tight area. We're talking about, like, a 10, 15-foot area to lift it straight up, and it was
Wow.
all of that.
Yeah. Would that be something that UI sort of you bill UI for, or is that on the customer property, like a private
So
property?
we have Eversource over here, but yeah, as
Yeah.
far as a utility
Yeah.
company, they will basically they will handle everything about 10 feet in from the road, but it's a matter of actually getting them out to do it. And
Yeah.
understandably, a lot of homeowners don't want to wait for them to come out and do it on their time. They'd rather just
Yeah.
bite the bullet and actually pay for a professional company to come out and do it. But in this circumstance, it was in the middle of the client's yard. It was just
Mhm.
it was about 15 to 20 feet away from the road. So it was just far enough where it wasn't affecting their lines enough where the a utility company would actually come out and take care of it. So
Yeah.
that's where they brought us in.
Oh, okay. So then the homeowner had to fork for that one. Yeah. Cool. Um, was there ever a moment when you wanted to quit, in your tree business, or what keeps you going in that, keeping you from quitting?
Yeah, so as far as quitting, absolutely not. There's never been a moment where I wanted to stop. Has there been hard times? Absolutely, but it was
Mm.
as soon as I started out this company, I knew it was I'm either gonna go broke or I'm gonna go big. It's one or the
Mhm.
other. Oh, but I'm definitely not stopping anytime soon.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I can see that. There's there's always gonna be trees, and there's always gonna be trees that need to come down, right?
Absolutely.
It's like one of those, sustainable businesses.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, I've been recognizing got connected with, a company that they build websites and create, photography and video I service photography and video services for, I guess, an ad agency, for restaurants. And so what I'm recognizing, there's this unlimited, supply of restaurants because people need to eat. There's, any given street, at least downtown areas, there's tons of restaurants and everything like that, and I'm recognizing just how many, industries there are that are pretty, what do you call it? There's a lot of business to go around. And so it's like with, it's lawn care, there's always as long as there's grass, there's always gonna be people that needed to get cut down. Same for trees, same for, trash removal, all sorts of, those kind of sustainable businesses. And it's can be very lucrative, if you get that five-star rating like you have, and you get a reputation for yourself, in excellence. You're gonna be, constantly working, so you're gonna have to manage, your time, throughout that. We'll get to that later on. But as you were climbing, going through, starting your business, Uh, did you have any mentors or community of people that you sort of reached out to, or helped support you?
Mm. Yeah, so I had one very good gentleman, named Josh Kekak, and, he gave me a lot of pointers on the business side of things, on where to put my money, how to actually grow sustainably, and,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely credit a lot of the success to him.
Yeah, and what were the kind of things that he helped you through? Any like sage words or advice he gave you?
Yeah, persistence is a big one, just don't stop,
Mm,
and
yeah.
then just how to keep my expenses low and profit high.
Mm. Yeah, that's awesome. So do you have that what do you call it, Journey song in your head all the time? Don't stop believing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome. With every tree cutting down, don't stop. Anyway. uh, how did uh, how did your personal life change when you started in your business and as you know gained success and a credibility?
So, my personal life basically ended when I started up my business, for the first few years because it was all in. I was working nonstop. That's even at night. I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning just learning how to grow the actual business side of things because I knew how to
Yeah.
do the work, but actually learning the business side of things on how to make it grow and how to make it efficient. That was where I needed to learn everything. So I was putting a lot of hours into that. So my personal life definitely was on the back burner for that. Now that we're at this point where we have a lot of credibility, now I'm finally able to start taking off like Sundays, which is a nice day to relax. I
Mm,
hang out with my girlfriend, do some
yeah,
water sports, have some fun on that area. But
yeah,
it's now I'm just finally at the point where I can start having a little bit of fun again.
that's good. And how important is family to you in this whole business lifestyle that you have? Um, You said that you start taking off, Sundays. I do the same just for spending time with my wife, family, everything like that. Because if not, you can work 7 days a week. I used to have a job where I was working 7 days a week sometimes, and it was just awful. But now owning your own business, you get to schedule your time. So is what you do, for a living, is it sort of are you focused on, getting more clients or making, sort of a legacy for your family? Is there sort of like a balance of the 2?
So of course it's both. I definitely have to get clients to build that legacy. But it's at the back burner of everything. In the back of my mind is always a legacy for my family.
Yeah.
'Cause that's just ultimately what I'm trying to do is just build the Denison name so that my kids, my grandkids can have a life without a lot of stress.
Awesome. And talking about stress, do you have any stories, that you can share that are sort of horror stories of where things didn't go to planned, to to when you did a job and it's like, "Oh, no." And then how'd you get through it?
Yeah, so it was actually, I mean, the first job that I ever lost money on, um, it was about 10 cords of uncut wood. We were going in there just trying to split it. I never used a wood splitter before at that point.
Mm,
I've always cut down trees, just never actually made firewood out of them.
yeah.
So that was back in 2020, and, we got to the job. We rented a wood splitter to come out and bust this out real quick. I was like, "Oh, yeah, we'll be in and out in a day." Got a little
Mhm.
Home Depot wood splitter.
Yeah.
The second I saw that wood splitter moving, it was just this slow going into the
Oh,
wood.
no.
I was like, "Yeah, no, I just lost so much money." So that job ended up taking 4 days. I bid it at
Oh, no.
$400, and I had 3
Mm,
guys there. So my expenses for that job was upwards of around $2,000, and,
yeah.
I only got paid $400 for that job, so
Oh,
but
no.
it's something I easily coulda left and said, "Hey, like, I underbid this, I can't do this job anymore," but I already took that client's time to come out and do everything. They accepted my bid over another person, so I'm a man of my word. I stuck there. I got the job done, took care of that client, and they were happy at the end of it, of course, for $400.
Yeah. 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 Wow. How fast should wood splitters go? I guess faster than that,
Yeah,
right?
so, I mean, that is how fast they actually go. I just was picturing in
Oh,
my head
okay.
that it was, like, that fast, so I was like, "Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
can go through that in no time," but then it just went that slow,
Oh,
and that's
no.
when I realized that it's gonna be a lot more time.
Oof. Good times. So in those scenarios and other ones, how do you keep things going when the hype wore off? Like the freshness of, I got a business, things are growing, but then, I know for me, in photography and video production, I do all sorts of different things. Weddings can be the most stressful, but it can also be one of the most I guess, enjoyable because, it's a party. You're capturing a party, someone's, um, what's it called, heirloom product for them. And so they're gonna be viewing it over and over for the rest of their lives. Um, but it can be stressful, and there are bad weddings, there are good weddings. And so what sort of, what do you do to sort of keep you motivated, once, you recognize you're in this grind, you're pushing forward? You said family, before, but what other things sort of keeps you, in the grind and not sort of burning out? Thank you so much for watching this podcast. If you have a moment, please like, subscribe, and follow wherever you're watching this or listening to this so that we can continue to bring these quality business owners telling their stories and bringing you the content that you so crave. Now, let's get back to this interview.
Yeah, so the hype definitely wore off.
Mm,
That's it was short lived. Once I realized that I was into it, it's now just discipline at this point. I've set out to
mm,
do something. I'm a man of my
that's
word. I'm
good.
gonna finish exactly what I plan on doing. So
Mhm,
at this point, it's just waking up every day, understanding that I have a job to do. I'm gonna do it and get it done right for the clients.
that's
But
good.
as far as motivation, I definitely take a lot of motivation from just building a legacy for my family and making sure that they're completely taken care of.
Awesome, awesome, good man. And and you sort of mentioned it already, but what habits or mindsets keep you pushing through the tough times? Like, so let me sort of rephrase that question, for your team. What kind of habits or mindsets do you help to motivate your team, as being the leader, to these guys? What do you do to sort of keep them in the grind without, burning out?
Yeah, so tree removal is it's like the wild wild west. There's a lot of good companies, there's a lot of bad companies. You got a lot of guys that will come out and just a quick pickup truck and leave the yard a mess because it's just they just want the tree down.
Yeah.
It's quick money. They just want the tree down. Which there's a place for everything, but what I give my guys pride in is that we're not that. We're the top tier in the industry. We are trying to provide an excellent service so they can leave the job site and truly have pride and looking back and be like, wow, this place looks night and day. When we got here, the yard was a mess. Now there's no tree and the yard looks even better than when we got there. So
Nice.
they're truly providing a good service. So all my guys are incredibly prideful about providing that.
Awesome. So quick question, how far do you guys travel
Yeah, so
to
we
for
do
a job?
all of Connecticut and all of Rhode Island.
Okay,
Sometimes we'll tip our toes into Massachusetts.
awesome. I wish I heard of you guys. I think, you probably hear that a lot, but probably about, I wanna say 6 or 7 years ago, we had, like, 6 I think 6 trees we needed to grind, the stumps, and they brought in the grinder and left a whole bunch of divots in my yard, and they never came back to do anything about it, and it was just all, what do you call it? Wood shavings all over my yard. And it's like, what y what do you d so say for that scenario,
Mm.
when you get a client that says, "I need 6 stumps ground out," how would you, uh, work that so that the client's happy at the end?
Yeah, so as far as the track marks, you're discussing all the rivets and everything and the
Yeah,
wood shavings, that's what we pride ourselves on. We have ground protection mats that are about 4 feet wide by 8 feet wide. We set those down so that there's no track marks at all. We just drive on those the whole entire time, track right out, and then after we use the blowers to get everything completely cleaned off, so there's not a speck of sawdust after.
awesome. So continue on that actually, so say you come onto the yard of a new client, just want, I don't know, what's a big tree for you?
I mean, we have access to the largest cranes in the industry, so really any size tree. But
Yeah.
yeah, in this area of Connecticut, we really only see a maximum of 110 foot, 120-foot trees. Anything bigger than that's like unheard of around here. So
Yeah.
we've done roughly 105-foot pine. It was between like 100 and 105 foot.
Wow, that's massive. Let's say average, let's say 50, like
Yeah.
40, 50 feet. This one tree down, clean backyard kinda thing. What's the first thing you do, once just like, uh, do you go in to see the job a couple days beforehand, and then you go in and cut it down? Like, what's your process with that?
Yeah, so what we do is they give us a ring, they talk to Aurora in the office, schedule a quote. Then I come out on that scheduled time, check out the tree, check out the property, check out all the obstructions that are around it, any hazards, see
Mhm.
where the septic tank is, see our route in, and then create a plan at that time of the estimate, see about how much time it's going to take. And then at that point, if we agree on a price, then we schedule a time to come out for the job and we get it done.
Awesome, awesome. What's your usual turnaround for getting a tree that size down?
For the job itself,
50.
usually within a day,
Yeah.
and then getting actually scheduled, we're about 2 weeks to 4 weeks out.
Awesome, awesome. And then, getting back to the grind, kinda scenario, how has your definition of success changed since you started?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when I started out, I was young. I was picturing the crazy lifestyle, the Miami Vice lifestyle, just going crazy, going to Bora Bora every weekend.
Jeez.
Now I've settled down a little bit on that, and I just want to create a solid foundation for my family. Like now, it definitely changed from just having a good lifestyle for myself to building for others, and just even like my sister, just making sure that she doesn't have to work, making sure that my
Mhm,
girlfriend doesn't have to work, like just taking care of everyone around me.
mhm. It's awesome.
And if, as long as I have that, that's success to me.
It's beautiful. And have you ever had to shut down something or walk away from a venture? Because as a business owner, we find success in one kind of business, and then we try to dip our toes in other things. Have you ever ventured into different things and found success and or failure in those?
Yeah. So what I've done is, so I used to sell solar door to door.
Yeah.
I was pretty good at that, and then I started up the company, got away from that for a while, and then a good friend of mine started up a company, and he is the most reputable person I can speak of. He is
Mm.
the man for the job when it comes to solar.
Mhm,
And he started up a company. I was like, wow, like I'm taking down trees. It directly correlates with solar, so we
mhm.
figured out a way to kind of work together on that. Um,
Nice.
so with that, I was selling solar and doing the trees at the same time, so I was spread very, very thin,
Mhm.
and I saw both areas suffering. My company was suffering, and I wasn't doing as well in solar. So I had to kind of pick one beast to deal with, and I ended up picking the business and going all in on that side. So now I
Yeah,
still send him a bunch of referrals for solar, but I wasn't able to sell it anymore, which that was a good transition overall seeing it now, but it was very difficult at that time.
yeah. Did you wanna name drop for for your friend?
Yeah, that was Solarship Corp. He is like the company to go with for solar. They have a 5-star rating as well, which in the solar industry is very, very difficult to do.
Mhm.
He is the most reputable company I can ever speak of.
Awesome, awesome. And then, what what did the experience teach you, throughout, as you're growing up in your business? What did it teach you about failure and even about yourself?
It definitely taught me that failure is just a stepping stone to success.
Mhm,
Like we fail all the time. There's always going to be things where you get it wrong.
mhm.
Then you just fix it. You move on to the next and do it right, and just keep on building off of that. So failure is does not affect me anymore at
Mm,
all. It's just part of the process.
yeah. Yeah, I recognize even for myself, it's like becomes water in a duck's back. It's like, 'cause you know the end result. Because,
Mhm.
you're gonna learn something from this. You're gonna tweak it, you're gonna move forward and, move past it, and it's actually one of the best, teaching tools out there. So I welcome, the next question I have is, how do you deal with fear, doubt, or burnout? And so it's all the same. If it's like, they're all things that are gonna teach you something. It's like, but the caveat is like are you actually gonna learn it and move forward with that or let it continue be an issue for you? So
Exactly.
how do you deal with that?
So that's the fun part is it's like you said, it's how many times are you gonna get handed the same lesson until you actually learn from it. And that's what I've been trying to get better about is learning much quicker. And it definitely comes with time. Because the first time you can learn the hard way and be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna try to fix it, do it a different way. And then you learn another hard way, and
Yeah,
then you just build off of that, and then you just get more and more resilient over time with it.
yeah, definitely. Now, looking back, what advice would you give your past self, as you were starting your business?
I would say if I were to start all over again, of course, I would skip all of the lawn care, and just go right into trees, which I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Um, because the lawn care was just to get me started. I always wanted to get into trees and stick to tree removal, but I
Mhm.
didn't have the money to necessarily get all the gear at that time, like get everything I needed. So hindsight is 2020.
Yep.
That's a famous thing. So that's what I would do is I would go for the higher ticket stuff instead of staying with the lawn care. And yeah, I think that would have been the biggest transition.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. That's one thing, as you grow in business, you need to sort of start with the lowball stuff just to get your name out there, just to get a credibility and get consistent clients, and then gradually go up. One thing that I've seen some people make the mistake of is starting high. Some people make it. Some people they're able to charge that high ticket item, but it's who you know. And people that have deep pockets, they don't care how much it costs. They like if they like you, they're gonna pay whatever you wanna charge them. So that's awesome. That's a big
Exactly. And that was the nice part is because we built a reputation
Mhm.
before all of this. Now people already know and trust us and know that we're able to take care of the job. So I don't think I would have been able to start with trees at that point because it would have been a lot harder. And the lawn care is what kept the cash flow going. So like I
Yeah,
said, hindsight's 2020, but I think now looking back at it, I probably wouldn't change anything.
that's good. Do you have any companies that, consistently call you to take down trees for them? Like, say, I think I mentioned before, what was it? Eversource. Probably not. Does Eversource contract out tree
Oh,
companies?
yeah. Yeah, we don't do
Okay.
any, trimming like that along the power lines or anything.
Mhm.
We just do full removals. So
Yeah.
that's what you mostly see is other companies is contracting out trimming. We
Mhm.
do have a couple contractors that call us for all of their work, and we also get
Mhm.
a few solar companies that call us for all their removals.
Yeah.
But we have one contractor that handles a lot of the work in Watch Hill, and we handle a lot of the work for them.
Awesome. And how did you get in connection with those people? Just
So it was
word of mouth?
Yeah, it was word of mouth. It was a friend through a friend, and then, we
Yeah.
showed him what we could do on his property, and then he connected us with his clients.
Awesome. And what are the how do the majority of your clients find you? Is it through word of mouth or through various means or
A lot of it is word of mouth. We're
Yeah.
also heavy on Facebook, we're on Google,
Mhm.
and, those are the 2 main spots.
Awesome. And then what's one misconception people have about, starting or running a new business?
That it's, you create your own schedule. It's yeah, it is not easier than a 9 to 5 job. It is,
Mhm.
you're trading a 9 to 5 for a 24/7 because your
Mhm.
mind never turns off. It's always on the business until you get to a steady foundation where you have systems in place where the business can run without you. Until that point, it's nonstop work. So I think
Yep.
a lot of people look at Instagram and see the highlight reel of business
Yeah. Mhm.
and don't see the nitty-gritty of it where it's a lot of difficult work for a
Yeah.
sustained period of time.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to get your time back, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how has this journey changed you, as a person, as a business owner, as a family member, as a boyfriend and so forth? How has it sort of, uh, uh, provoked you to be a better person and, to grow?
Yeah, so I think it's definitely set my priorities straight.
That's
It
good.
shows me what's important in life compared to where before I was, when I say 24/7, it was I was working or I was sleeping. And now
Uh-huh.
it's just there was no balance involved in that. And now that I have a great girlfriend in my life, I have to balance that into it as well. So it's kind of sets my priorities straight with that. As well as getting a family dinner in every single week, setting time aside for family, actually putting it on the calendar, which is very
Mhm.
important.
Yeah. Yeah, do you have any more stories that you wanna share just sort of, from starting up or even, recently?
Um, let's see. Well, I think it's a cool transition to see because
You
there's a
did?
lot of like in the gym, there's a lot of before and after pictures compared to like when I started in the gym and like after what I'm at now. It's kind of the same for business where I can like look at a picture from way back in the past and see me towing a 10-foot trailer with a Ford Escape to now I
Mhm.
have a couple brand new trucks towing very large trailers and very large tippers and a massive lift. So it's very cool to see the transition from a
Good.
kid that had nothing to start out with and now can build it into this in a matter of 7 years, so it
Mhm.
just proves that anyone can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's next for you in your business? Are you looking into, I don't know, planting trees? Or something else?
Yeah, so I think that we're gonna stick to removals. It's definitely where my passion lies, and, I enjoy it a lot. It's a good adrenaline rush. It's really cool to see the massive change where it's just there was once a 90-foot tree here, and now there's nothing. It's just
Mhm.
grass again. So,
Yeah.
I really enjoy that side of things, so I think we're gonna stick to removals. We're just gonna get bigger on the scale. We're looking into investing into a grapple truck and a crane soon, so we're gonna be able
Mhm.
to get into large scale removals, which is gonna be
Mhm.
pretty.
Awesome. So, do you have any words of encouragement for someone that's listening that just started their own business and they're a little scared, a little uh afraid, and what would you say to them as they're, pushing forward?
So the fear doesn't go away. It'll be there until the end. Just keep on pushing through and throughout, and just make sure your foundation is set. There's gonna be a lot of times where you're gonna think it's not gonna work, and it's saying like, "Oh, is this even worth it?" But it is absolutely worth it in the long run if you just stick to it, keep on pushing through. There's a lot of peaks and valleys, but just keep on pushing until you get to the peak.
Beautiful. All right. So where can people connect with you and support your work?
So on Facebook, you can look up Denison tree removal. We're also on Google. So Facebook is the best place to actually see us constantly posting videos. You can see a lot of cool removals on there.
Awesome. Well, Jason, thank you so much for being a part of my podcast, and I wish your business and your family and your journey all the best.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And no problem. Take care.
You as well.